Hello, everybody. This is Wade Wacker, and this is Money in the Bible. In this week's show, we'll be talking about Exodus and why was Pharaoh's heart so hardened, and why did he chase the Israelites. So we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to give you some context of why I believe Pharaoh did what he did. But first of all, I got a couple things. I want to give a shout out to the Robbie Zacharias family. And I pray for them throughout this grieving process. Robbie passed away today, or yesterday, on Tuesday. So we just want to give a shout out to the family. We pray for them throughout this grieving process, and we want to thank them and Robbie for what he has done in the apologist world in the kingdom. He was a tremendous influence on me and on a lot of people for the way that he taught. His question and answer sessions are just incredible. If you want to see them, go to the YouTube and just type in Robbie, and you will see some great question and answer sessions. He was a master at that and did an incredible job of answering so many tough questions. So a shout out to them. Also, the Pieces of Hope Conference, I want to thank everybody who spent time with us Friday and Saturday for the Pieces of Hope Conference. We had a great 2 days. There were a lot of inspirational talks. And if you missed it, I do ask that you go, or you can go back and watch those on YouTube. They are posted on our YouTube channel, so you can go and watch all sessions. There are some really good sessions that I strongly recommend that you go and watch, and you'll be inspired. They're really good. And then the last thing I want to talk about is, before we get started, I get a lot of questions, and I have gotten a few questions here lately on social investing. So I do want to address that real quick. I could have a full talk on this, but I get a lot of questions on, number one, should I invest into the stock market, and is that moral? And number two, how cognizant or how important is that I cross-check and make sure that I'm socially conscient when I invest? And so I want to address that real quick. First of all, yes, you should invest. God, in Jesus' parable, where he gives the seeds and they go and they come back, I believe one of the teachings in that, there's many teachings in that, but one of those teachings is telling when the one comes back, hey, I put it in the ground, saved it, now I come back with one. And Jesus goes, what? You just brought back one? I believe that is telling, yes, we should invest. Now, there's a big difference between investing and gambling. Investing is a long-term approach. Gambling is, I'm trying to make a quick buck. Okay, there's a big difference. So the answer to the first question is yes, you should invest. The second question is social investing, and that's really tough. Because ultimately you will find sin in almost every company that you could possibly invest in. Okay, it comes down to the ever question, or the ever more important question is, what is sin and what is their grading of sin? You could find it. If you want to dig in each company, you can find it. So if you look at a company that you think, okay, wow, I want to invest in a solid company, and they own 35 different companies. Well, one of those companies are probably going to have something that is not what we view as biblically correct. So should we stay away from that? Again, I think if you truly dig down, you'll end up querying all the stocks out, and you'll have nothing to invest. Now, that being said, you don't want to go out and knowingly, going and investing into a casino, or investing into a stock that could do damage, like one that would be involved in abortion directly. I think that's tough. So yes, there's some parameters that I stick by, but as far as truly digging down, it's really tough. So there's a lot of advice across the board. So there's some really good websites that do cross-check for the kingdom on some of that. But again, I want to caution you, when you do define that, how are you defining it? And again, you're going to throw a lot of it out. We all are sinful people, no matter how pure we try to have our message. So just wanted to quick answer that. There's a great debate that can happen. Dave Ramsey is actually in the side that you can't control it. So invest. And there's some on the other side that say, no, you really got to be careful. So it's all across the board. I'm more in the lenient, but I want to stay away from knowingly stuff like gambling drugs, not drugs itself to cure, but stuff like that. So anyway, so that's my answer on that. Now let's get started on the money in the Bible and why Pharaoh's heart was hardened so much and why he chased them. So again, I'm always looking for context of the why. Why did Pharaoh react the way he did to all the plagues? Why was he so hardened? Why would he not want them to leave? After 4, 5, 6 plagues, you think he'd like, wow, just go, get out of here. Okay? A lot of things are always run by, you know what? The almighty dollar, money. And I believe this was no different. And I'm going to show you that why. And then I'm going to show you why he chased them. So let's get into why I believe Pharaoh, the biggest reason why he had his heart hardened was the economic impact. Now, the first 5 plagues, if you look at the way it's worded, Pharaoh hardened his own heart. Now, God hardened his heart in 6 through 10, the plagues 6 through 10. But the first 5, Pharaoh was. And again, the reason why I believe he did was that he knew the economic impact that would happen if the Israelites left. Now, the last 4, God had to get him to a point where it would fall into the place the way God wanted to for the slavery that was had for the past 430 years. But again, it's a key determination of who was hardening the heart. First 5 was Pharaoh was hardening his own heart. Second 5, God was hardening his heart. So again, why did Pharaoh not want them to leave? I think it screams a financial one. 600,000 males. Okay? In Exodus 12, verse 37, then the children of Israel journeyed from Ramesses to Succoth, about 600,000 men on foot, besides children and women. Some translations include women. So all told, if you do the math, you can have as high as 1.5 million to 2 million. In fact, some people believe it actually could be as high as 3 million. I'm in the 1.5 million range, maybe as high as 2 million. But 600,000 males, and males and determined in that time were anything or anybody over the age of 20. 600,000 workers, the ones doing the pyramids, the ones doing the statues, the one doing all the farming and everything for all the Egyptians. It was slavery at its best. And Pharaoh knew if you took that out of the economy, how was it going to be replaced? That was free labor, basically. You didn't have to pay him anything. How was he going to get that replaced? He knew that. That's why when these plagues hit, he was like, no, I don't care what you do. I don't care how many frogs. I don't care how many locusts. I don't care. I'm not letting them go. I cannot risk what would happen financially. Not even risk. I know what would happen financially if they left. So Pharaoh knew the economic chaos that would come by letting them go. That is why I believed his heart was so hardened, especially by himself in the first 5 verses. He could not. Financially, he was in a position where he couldn't. So now, he knows he can't let him leave from the economic standpoint. Why did he chase him? Well, let's find out why. He realized that his wealth was gone. Let's read Exodus 11, 1 through 3. And the Lord said to Moses, I will bring one more plague on Pharaoh and on Egypt. Afterward, he will let you go from here. In other words, God's saying this one's going to hurt. He is going to let you go. Get ready, get out of here. Go by night and get moving. When he lets you go, he will surely drive you out of here altogether. Speak now in the hearing of the people, and let every man ask from his neighbor and every woman from her neighbor articles of silver and articles of gold. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. Moreover, the man Moses was very great in the land of Egypt, in the sight of Pharaoh's servants, and in the sight of the people. So imagine how this game plan came into play. Moses, found as a baby, grew up, gained tremendous respect and reputation by the Egyptians, left for 40 years, came back, and God had set the tone that the Egyptians would listen to him. And after the 10th plague, the Egyptians were like, just go, get out of here, leave. And God knew they would be at such a breaking point that they would give them, here's our gold, here's our silver, just get us, we're all going to die by the time your God is going to get done with us. So God just created the game plan that was actually going to be the start of the wealth. The wealth that was taken from Egypt was enormous. Imagine 1.5 million to 2 million people having silver and gold. Imagine the wealth. Again, guess who also knew that? Pharaoh. Let's read again. The Israelites not only took articles of gold, clothing, and silver. Let's also see what they took. Exodus 12:31 through 36. Then he called for Moses and Aaron by night and said, "Rise, go out from among my people, both you and the children of Israel, and go serve the Lord as you have said. Also take your flocks and your herds as you have said, and be gone and bless me also." In other words, not only did they take the physical stuff they took, or the gold, silver, and clothing, they took their livestock. They took it. They took all the wealth that the Egyptians had gone. And the Egyptians urged the people, just get out of here, that they might send them out of the land in haste, for they said, "We shall all be dead." So the people took their dough before it was leavened, having their kneading bowls bound up in their clothes on their shoulders. Now the children of Israel had done according to the word of Moses, and they had asked from the Egyptians articles of silver, articles of gold, and clothing, and the Lord had given the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they granted them what they requested. Thus they plundered the Egyptians. They took it all. They took it all. Fast forward, Pharaoh realizes it. He's like, I have to go. I got to go get it back. He didn't want him to leave in the first place, right? He knew the economic impact that was going to happen. Then when he realized all their wealth was taken with the livestock and everything, he had to go. In his mind, he had to go chase them. So, interesting context. Quick teaching on why I believe the Exodus story was just about as much about money as everything. Yes, we know God hardened his heart, and it would happen any way God wanted to. But I do believe in context, it teaches you, and it gives me more reasoning. Okay, now I understand why Pharaoh truly was the way he was. So there's your teaching for the day. Again, I want to give a last shout out to Robbie, and just want to say, hey, thank you for that ministry and what they have done for many, many, many Christians and non-Christians and people coming to the Lord. So thank you, Robbie. We continue to pray for you during this virus. We pray that we can find a cure and that we can get back to some normalcy. We are looking forward to getting back on the ground and being foot shoulders for Christ. So stay bold, and God